The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbb-radio.com.
Welcome to the Falls Forward podcast. I am your host, Councilwoman Bridget Myles. This podcast will be about what goes on inside city government. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to Falls Forward inside city government. I am Councilwoman Bridget Myles, and today here with me we have Superintendent of Police, Nicholas Ligammari. Thank you so much, Superintendent. How are you today?
Very good, thank you. It's good to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for taking time out. So my goal here is to kind of make do on my promise. During campaigning, I ran into a lot of residents, a lot of people who didn't necessarily know what goes on inside city government. So this is kind of like the foundation, just the basic information of who does what, and we can relay that to the public so they can understand.
That's a great concept and a great idea, and I'm happy to do it.
Thank you. So we'll kind of start simple, and feel free to give us any information that you feel that we need that can better help you. What do you do on a day-to-day basis? This, for people who don't know, the Superintendent of Police.
Well, on a day-to-day basis, sometimes it varies, but basically I'm in charge of the police department. I usually get to work anywhere from like 6:15 to 6:30 in the morning, and I usually have a lot of emails to respond to, phone messages, because we do get quite a few inquiries from the public, and I like to try to stay on top of those when I can. So I also go over all the reports for that day or the night before to try to see what exactly was happening in the city. And I usually meet with my command staff usually every day, and we discuss what might have happened the night before, or whatever issues we might have, or what our schedule is moving forward. So, I mean, that's kind of like what I do day to day, every day. My job, as it pertains to being the superintendent of police, like I said, I'm in charge of the police department. So I'm in charge of policy, any type of complaints. They end up, I mean, I don't see them always first, but they'll always end up with me. Any type of issues with employees, with the unions, just, basic stuff that I guess anybody that was in charge of any type of business would have to deal with. So.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So you get a touch of it all.
Yes.
Yes.
I guess one of the main reasons why I feel the department's as successful as it is usually the people that work for me. I obviously, if it was just me, I would be just overwhelmed with, it isn't that big of a city, but there's a lot every day that I assign to different members of my command staff who are all just excellent. They do a great job, so they make me look good.
Yes. You're doing an excellent job. And you might not deal directly with it. This is more of like to the dispatchers when they receive that call. Can you kind of prioritize how that's
Sure. So they can receive a call either through 911, which is, usually, not always, but because some people don't know that there's non-emergency numbers. But if somebody calls, there's also an information number that if it's not an emergency and they just need some advice or what to do, they can also call that number. But if it comes in as a 911 call and it's whatever priority the emergency is, the call taker gets the call first. So there's somebody that answers the call. Then they put it in the computer and it goes to the dispatcher. But they're all sitting in the same room. So there's call takers, the police dispatcher and the fire dispatcher are all sitting in a room like this.
Okay.
So they all can hear what's going on, see what's going on. So the reason for that is if a fire truck is needed or an ambulance, they're right there too, so that it doesn't delay the time that's needed. But if it's a high priority call, they dispatch the officers that are closest, or depending on who's available, and they relay that to them that it's a high priority call, and they go. And we usually try to send a supervisor as well, as much as we can too. But so it kind of depends on the type of call. Like I said, there's a lot of people that call in and they just need advice, or they need to be what other city departments can help them. So you'd be surprised. The call takers field a lot of calls that aren't really police calls, but they're happy to point the people in the right direction. So,
is there a separate number for like a non-emergency, or is it?
Well, there's the 286-4711.
Okay.
Is a good number to call. It's like the information number to where they can steer you in the right direction. And we also, it's not necessarily part of the dispatch room, but there's always a desk lieutenant, which is in the room over, and they actually have access. They watch what goes on in there. So they're I guess the first line supervisor for the dispatchers if they need guidance or something interpreted, whatever needed to be done. But so there's always a supervisor available too, which is good.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. What's the best way for residents and neighborhood leaders to work with the police department when they have a problem or an issue?
The best way is to realize that this is indeed a partnership. Without the community, we wouldn't get much done.
Right.
So we need the community to be a partner with the police department. Now, I've been around quite a while, and it's one thing that I would like to try to revive a little bit. The Block Club associations used to be very strong.
Yes.
And, for whatever reasons, people get older, it's not kind of followed up on with some of the other people. But there still are a lot of very good people, but it's like fragmented and it's kind of not unified as much as I would like. But so in the past, that was really good for the police department. We would meet regularly, discuss neighborhood problems, because I've always, in the city, you hear a lot of different things, but our violent crime is way down. Our gun crime is way down. But sometimes it's hard, if you're living next to somebody that's constantly, doing quality of life things that just make your life miserable, you may not care that, violent crime's down. You just care that, every day you got to hear loud music or so those type of things used to be easier to solve with, active neighborhood people and block clubs and things like that. So those things I'd like to try to improve on, if we could. So that's one of my priorities.
It's getting the block clubs active.
Trying to get the
and
block clubs active again, getting
Mm-hmm.
younger people more involved. Because like I said, we would be very hard pressed to do the job we're doing if we didn't have the help from the community.
Right.
So
that's awesome.
It goes hand in hand. Like I said, it's a partnership.
Yes.
And it's great when we have that relationship.
I agree. And tonight we'll be meeting for the first time our youth advisory committee.
Okay.
So this is definitely something I'm going to bring up to them.
Is that the group Jenna Faso was part of, or no?
No, this one, I campaigned on this also. We as council members have the power to start these groups.
Okay.
And because we're at large, it's 5 members, we have to tackle the entire city.
Okay.
So I thought it was an excellent idea to get people involved from different perspectives, walks of life, and we sit down at the table and it's for recommendation and be the eyes and ears in the community that we need.
That's great.
So that's going to start tonight. And I definitely want to bring up kind of getting the black clubs back organized.
Right.
So that's
and
awesome.
As far as, youth go, we used to do a youth police academy at the schools, and that was very well received. Like I said, over different administrations, it's kind of fallen off a little bit, but that's another thing I'd like to try to get going. For one of the big reasons, it's kind of a selfish reason, but all across the country, it's not just this area, recruitment is way down.
Right.
Trying to get young people into law enforcement, and it's definitely a country problem. So I think when we do the Youth Police Academy, we show them little aspects of the whole job. And a lot of people don't know. I mean, it's not all just about, there's a bunch of different departments and divisions and things that, you can end up in and make a great career out of. So that's another thing I'd like to kind of get going.
Okay.
So,
and that would, of course, be in the high schools, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that would be awesome. What's one message you want residents to hear about public safety in Niagara Falls right now? I know numbers are way down.
Right.
Can you kind of talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so, I mean, crime numbers right now are, there was just an article in the Gazette that Rick Pfeiffer did, and it was basically about the GIVE program, which is the gun-involved violence elimination program, and that involves exactly what it says. The state wanted to drive down gun violence, and they have, and we have through this grant. So, like I said, the numbers don't lie there. Gun violence and violent crime are way down. Knock on wood, we haven't had a shooting homicide all of last year. We've had homicides, but they weren't involving a gun. So that's something I'm proud of. So our overall crime is down 35% in the city. And like I said, if some residents that are constantly have an issue with something, I don't know that they much care about that. They want their issue solved. So I always go back to the quality of life, because it's always how the resident and the community perceives things.
Yes.
And if it's not safe to them, then it's not safe. I can show them, the numbers show it's safe, so it's definitely, you're definitely better off now. But so I just want to make sure that the residents know that, this is indeed a partnership, and the community, that's the reason why I think the numbers are down, because of the community. And the different programs that we have now that involve the community that, like I said, going through years ago, we didn't have that. It was just like try to arrest your way out of everything. And eventually, you might be able to arrest and throw the people in jail, but they eventually get out, and they, if they didn't get rehabilitated, or if no one helped them, what are they going to do? They have nothing else to do. They're going to go back to doing crime. So I think those programs are all better off now through the different educational programs and through the state. So that's always important. But if I can get one message across to the residents, crime is definitely down in the city. Our officers do a great job on a day-to-day basis. I'd want nothing more than the community to be involved, continue to be involved, because there are a lot of community members that are heavily involved in the police department. And we're always willing to come out to your different groups and try to address some of your issues, or give you some advice as to, what maybe you need to do as a block group moving forward. But just know that it is a partnership, and we're happy to partner with the community.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. Excuse me. What can you say for tourists coming over? Sometimes I think that's kind of their issue or their concern is public safety. So
Yes.
How do you deal with that?
The good thing is that we do receive a lot of tourists here during, the summer season, and, sporadically throughout the winter as well, too. But the one thing I would say, and sometimes I hate to say some of it is common sense, because we all probably travel, and I'm a tourist at times too. Just the number one thing, the crime that our tourists are mainly have to deal with is having their cars broken into. And it's usually because they have something of value within view. Okay. So just something as simple as don't leave your laptops, don't leave your cell phones, don't leave your purse where somebody, because most of the criminals downtown, it's crimes of opportunity. They're usually addicted to some kind of substance, and they'll walk by and see something in a car, and they'll break the window and take it. So that's the main crime that happens downtown is car larceny. So if anything else, just please put your valuables out of view. That's one of the main things.
Thank you for that. And I know 2026, what do you see as far as community with policing? Do you have any events coming up?
We do. We have a lot of different community events. I know right now one of the big events that we're working on with Miss Dolson is she wants to do a 250th July 4th parade.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So that should be hopefully a very nice event. We have throughout the summer, we have the Fall Street events to where there's concerts downtown. And as a longtime city resident, I don't like to hear there's nothing to do, because there usually is something to do. You just kind of have to look around and open your eyes, and there's usually something to do. But we're constantly planning different events or going in on events with different groups. So if there's something that anyone needs assistance with, just you reach out to us, and we'll gladly do what we can.
Okay. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you for that. For a resident who might have an issue or concern, because we do hear this at the city council meetings.
Right.
What's the best way? I know they shouldn't call the 911. Should they call that non-emergency number to get things started?
Right. If it's not an emergency, that's probably the best number to call. And you can also go. They have Cop Logic reports. It's called. It's right through the city website through the 311 portal.
Okay.
So for several lower level issues, you can actually start the report yourself and fill it out. It's very self-explanatory. Okay. You just click on things and fill it in, and then what happens is that report comes into the police station, and an officer goes through it, and then they, if anything needs to be corrected or whatever, they'll contact the resident and ask maybe for some further details, and then that report is basically the same as having an officer come to your house and write the report, and then it'll be followed up on and by either detectives or whoever needs to follow up on it. So that's also a good way to do it if you can, because if not, that's fine. You just call and we'll come to your house and do it, or you can come into the station we call it Post 1, the police desk, and there's always an officer there during normal business hours, and they'll actually do the report for you if a report is needed.
Okay. So just to back up a little bit, so is it on the website? So we go to the City of Niagara Falls?
If you go to the 311 in the city website, it'll say police reports, and you click on it. Now, you can't do it for like a violent crime, but you can do it for a larceny or a lot of the things where, like I said, are quality of life issue crimes. You can start it on there. Okay.
Thank you for that information. Do you have any last closing remarks?
No, just that. I mean, I appreciate it, and I'm happy to come on and speak with you. I think this is, like I was saying earlier, is a great way to get information from department heads, and so as you continue to do this, and other department heads are on, I'm probably going to listen because I'm going to say,
Okay.
well, what does this guy do, or what does this person do? But it is a very good way to uphold your campaign promise, because we all know sometimes politicians don't uphold their campaign promises. But I'm glad this you got this going, and
Thank
I'm
you.
happy to come back whenever you want. So
Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for the information, for setting the foundation. And I'm sure we'll probably circle back around and have you
that'd be
back
great.
on sometime.
Yeah, that'd be great. I look forward to it.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.